Even if a man fears getting close to a woman, it doesn't mean that he will be consciously aware of this. He is then going to unconsciously do what he can to keep his distance, but he won't realize this. Thanks to this, he might often be in a position where it is as though someone or something out there is preventing him from having a relationship. If this is the case, he will have the desire to be in a relationship, but he won't be able to make much headway. For example, he might have recently been with a woman that he liked, and then before long, their time together came to an end. The woman that he was with might have had to move away, not felt the same, or cheated, for instance. Whatever the reason, what he wanted would have slipped through his fingers. This might be something that has taken place on a number of occasions. Yet, sooner or later, he could meet a woman who goes from liking him to loving him, and he could start to feel anxious and have the need to pull away. As this will be what he has wanted for however long, he could struggle to understand what is going on. Part of him may believe that this shows that he is not really into her, but another part of him will know that this is not so. What might enter his mind at this stage is that how he feels and is behaving is irrational. Then again, he might not be interested in having a relationship and could simply prefer to have casual encounters. He is then only going to have the need to share his body and perhaps his mind with a woman. What this will show is that, unlike the previous scenario, he will not be aware of his need to experience a deeper connection with a woman. This need will typically be repressed, and thus it will rarely, if ever, enter his conscious awareness. If he was asked why he wants to share his body with a woman and doesn't want to experience a deeper connection, he could say that this is not something that interests him. Furthermore, he could talk about the bad things that could happen if he was to open up to a woman, with this being seen as something that is not worth the hassle. After hearing this, the other person could say that he is in denial and fears human contact. But, as he is not aware of what is going on for him at a deeper level, there will be no reason for him to accept what they say. He might have a well-developed intellect and a certain level of self-awareness, but he will still be oblivious as to why he is this way. If he is surrounded by men who are also in the same position, there will be no need for him to question, let alone explore, why he is this way. What may happen at one point or another is that he might end up forming a deeper connection with a woman who is different to the others, and this is when he could end up finding out that there is a reason why he is this way. By opening up and getting emotionally close to a woman, he could feel anxious and have the need to pull away. Now, irrespective of if a man can relate to the first or the second scenario, he is going to want to know why getting close to a woman doesn't feel comfortable. Assuming that he has more or less always experienced life in this way, there is the chance that his early years were not very nurturing. If he was to think about this stage of his life, he might not be able to remember a great deal. His brain will then have blocked out what took place to allow him to keep it together and function throughout this stage of his life. He might have been mistreated by his mother, and as he was powerless and totally dependent, he wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. He might have often been hit and verbally put down and deprived of the love that he needed. What he needed was a mother who was emotionally stable, attuned, and loving. Instead, he would have had a mother who was emotionally unstable, unattuned, and cruel. Naturally, this would have deeply wounded him and provided him with a very negative model of what a woman is like. To handle what was going on, his brain would have repressed how he felt, and he would have gradually lost touch with a number of his needs and feelings. He would then have been connected to his body at one point in time and lost touch with his body as time passed. And as how he felt would have been repressed and not experienced and integrated, he won't have truly been able to move on from what happened. The pain that he is carrying will have an impact on who he is attracted to, attracts, and how he behaves when he is with a woman. Taking this into account, if you are a man who is in this position and getting emotionally close to a woman doesn't feel comfortable, then this may be due to what took place during your formative years, with this being a time when you didn't receive what you needed and you were greatly wounded in the process, and because of this you are then going to carry a lot of pain and a lot of unmet developmental needs. And so in order for you to change this area of your life, it will be important for you to work through this pain and to experience these unmet developmental needs. And as this takes place, you are likely to find that this area of your life begins to change. And to do this, you may need to reach out for external support. But the main thing is that you do what you need to do to gradually change your life. If you would like to find out more about the services that I offer, please go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.